My goal from day one has always been to try and get it back so that kids of this day and age can kind of time warp back and experience what it was like for their parents, what the internet was all about back then, and possibly get a fire going in them to learn how to get into programming and make a good choice in their career so that they can look back at the experience and be like, if it wasn't for that, I would not be where I am today. And I'm thankful for that. So that's always been the goal, is to just give back to the community the experience that I had. Hopefully that it sets some kids in the right way.
Welcome to AOL. Welcome to AOL Underground.
What was it like talking to God's Misfit after reading his document and recreating the protocol?
Yeah, it's just been the most amazing experience. It's after 22 plus years of these guys not really talking to each other anymore, or being so far away from AOL, now they're all here in one place and they're all together and they're all chatting and they're all getting back into their programming and chatting with me. And it's just the most amazing experience ever. I'd love to be able to share the experience with everybody because it's just such an enlightening experience for sure. I looked up to all these guys and now they're sitting here supporting me, looking up to me, and thanking me for what I'm doing. So it's amazing.
Yeah, it's super cool. I feel like a lot of us needed this, right? I mean, it's funny. A lot of old AOLers, I think they're all primed for a midlife crisis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody, but a lot of them are in their 40s, right? But also, nostalgia is a real thing, man. I mean, when you look back, I think everybody had fun at AOL back then. Either that or you stopped signing on, right?
Yeah.
Just being able to tinker in the community. And it's really cool that the AOL Discord is just not toxic. And even the chats in AOL that, you recreated, they're not toxic. So it's really awesome to actually, this day and age of the internet, I seriously never thought I'd be in a chat room again and have it feel like it did back in the 90s. So it's really cool.
It is really cool. To be honest, I think the project it came along just at the right time. It definitely lifted the spirits of a lot of people. Just seeing that and being able to get back to their best times of their lives, possibly. So, yeah, it's humbling for sure.
Awesome. So what's your goal for the project? It kind of sounded like your initial goal was just to get a few things working, put it out there, and now there's the Discord and the community behind it. Have you set any goals, some milestones for the project?
Well, my goal from day one has always been to try and get it back so that kids of this day and age can kind of time warp back and experience what it was like for their parents, what the internet was all about back then, and possibly get a fire going in them to learn how to get into programming and make a good choice in their career so that they can look back at the experience and be like, if it wasn't for that, I would not be where I am today. And I'm thankful for that. So that's always been the goal, is to just give back to the community the experience that I had. Hopefully that it sets some kids in the right way. Any milestones, I suppose it would be just getting it going so that people can jump on. I'm having some stability issues right now, but I think people are tolerant of my pace right now. But the major thing, I guess, would be, just getting it back on, trying to restore as much of it as we can. I mean, it's all vapor, so we're kind of just pulling it all out of thin air right now.
So is it just you programming, or do you have other people coding as well? Are you all contributing in GitHub and stuff?
No, it's just me coding. I'm not releasing any of the source to anything right now. It's just me. I kind of figure if I start letting people in or onboarding and start open sourcing it, then it kind of takes away the passion that I have for it. And I don't want to lose that passion right now.
Oh, okay. So it's important for you to keep it closed source to yourself because you're enjoying it. You want to keep enjoying it. That makes sense.
Yeah, I want to keep enjoying it and keep evolving and keep getting better at coding. And when it becomes to a point where I feel like I can be like, okay, I've done enough. It's time to let other people in on it. Then I will, for sure. But right now, it's my passion, and I kind of want to keep it that way for now.
Interesting. So what made you decide to use IRC as the backend for like the chat rooms and stuff?
I originally I wrote a rumor protocol and an instant messaging protocol. And so I had like 2 other instances of threads going to handle all those. And then I was like trying to work with giving people power over room, like operator status and all that kind of stuff. And then it kind of just popped into my head, like, what the hell am I doing? Reinventing the bloody wheel. There's IRC, for God's sake, So I kind of like, okay, I'm scrapping all of that, and I'm just going to switch over to IRC because it's already got all that. And all I need to do is just interface with IRC, and I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So yeah, that's why I chose IRC.
That is super creative, by the way. That's really cool.
Thanks.
So it sounds like, actually, I kind of discovered this myself. I found the IRC. I think I was actually talking with you like at 2 and 3 a.m. this morning. I didn't realize you were sleepy, but I was stony. And it's really cool that the program talks to IRC, and then you send the correct packets to the AOL client, right? For the end users, so they can interface with the chat room. And it's kind of like you're the go-in-between, right?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, the server kind of just handles what it needs. It builds all the FDO streams and sends them to the client, and it breaks down all the FDO coming from the client, strips out the useful data, and sends what it needs to the IRC. So yeah, just back and forth that way.
So is there queuing and stuff too? Like, are you dealing with queues?
Not in the sense where, when you mention queues, people automatically go to, okay, so there's a buffer and it's got to wait and all that kind of stuff. So no queues in that sense. No, what I'm doing is I'm using Asyncio threading. So I suppose it has its own send queue built into it. But me personally, I never wrote any queues or anything like that. So the data just comes in, gets processed, sends it out. Doesn't really care about the how much is coming in. It just deals with it all and then spits it out, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's like multi-threading.
Yeah.
For concurrency. And then have you gotten to the point where you've realized, like, once I hit this many users or chat rooms or concurrent messages, I'm going to need to like scale up or scale out? Have you got to that point yet?
Haven't got to the point yet, but I had already thought about that, like when I first started. So I had started designing it to be node-based, so I could have multiple servers running, and they'd all communicate with the IRC backend, and one somewhere else, or 3 or 4 of them, different addresses, and everybody can start offloading users to all these other ones, and they would all still use the same IRC backend. So it's already set up to be like that. So I can have like 3 servers going and 100 people on each one, but they'll all be able to chat with each other in IRC chat rooms.
Nice. So how will you be like creating the FDO content that no longer exists, and like keyword content, injecting like forms into Windows and stuff like that?
All that stuff is like pretty much gone. So we've been like scouring the internet for images or any sort of information about keywords. Like, it's important for us to find like images or like anything like that. If people have old machines laying around where they knew they were on AOL 3 or AOL 4 back in the day, they could get on there and zip up that AOL drive and send it to one of the TOS managers in Discord, because the databases for those AOL clients have a lot of the information that we need to rebuild, like keywords and other areas, like the bulletin board system that was in AOL and the file sharing system, even some of the chat room stuff. I'm using a chat room FDO that's not the actual one because I don't have the proper one. So I have yet to find that one. So yeah, there's this things like that people all over the world probably have sitting on their old machines or in a hard drive in a desk somewhere. That's how we have to do it because it's pretty much all gone. So it's just rebuild from images and memories, I guess.
So for our listeners, if we take a trip back to the 90s, when your client connected to AOL, if it downloaded something, let's say like a keyword, or it needed to, let's say you were viewing a new form, instead of having to request that every time from AOL, because that would be very expensive in terms of how long it would take to download, the AOL client cached that and then put it in a file called main.idx. And that is what we're talking about. And those files can get very big. And those are the files we want. So if you happen to have an old AOL installation, 3 or 4, and a juicy main IDX, not the one from the original install, one that's been sitting around for a while,
Yes.
please get it to the administrators in the Discord. That would really help out.
It would help a ton because that's all the history right there. It's all on people's old hard drives. It's the only way we're going to bring it all back.
So I know you said right now it's going to be closed source. Have you thought about letting people create like add-ons, extensions, different keywords? You know, like I think there was a keyword virus at some point, right? Or like plugins or anything like that? Or have you given thoughts to that? Because I think there's people definitely want to try to help out. And how can people help out?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we're all for that. We've been the team has basically been trying their hardest to get a visual publisher designer, which was the IDE or the development interface that AOL used in order to create their forms and stuff for their windows. So we've been trying really hard to get that restored and working so that we can give it to the community so they can start creating their own content. Because, I mean, ReAOL is about community content. That's what I want. Once the server's at the point that I can handle that, I want the community to make their own content, put it on ReAOL so that everybody has access to it and everybody can go to it. So yeah, we're working hard on getting a development environment going so that people can start doing that. It's important.
That'd be really cool to do that. And if you think about, you're talking about getting like kids involved and stuff, I could see them wanting to use like a visual environment. And have you heard of MIT Scratch Junior at all?
No, I have not.
If you just search Scratch Junior, like MIT, you'll find it. But like even like my 6-year-old, she could make programs with it. And you like pick your sprites, which are just like little images, right? So you could have a sprite of like a dog, and you drag blocks to programs. You could drag a block to arrow over, and go right. And then like there's like loop blocks. But yeah, it'd be kind of cool to have people just kind of create their own little keywords or lands or whatever. That'd be kind of fun.
It'd be awesome to be able to, log into friggin' AOL in 2023 and do a search keyword and see some, 7 or 8 year old's creation pop up on your AOL, man. That'd be amazing. It'll be a dream come true for me. It's what I want. I want kids to be able to do that kind of stuff. So yeah, that would be sweet. I hope it happens. I think it will.
So earlier you spoke about the Nina project. And I know they're also going for AOL. From my understanding is they're going for like later versions of AOL that have encryption and stuff like AOL 4 and later. Your AOL is right now AOL 3. Is there ever going to be an integration with like chat rooms and IM, you think, with the Nina project if it launches for AOL?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be awesome, to have the intercommunication like that for sure. I don't know how far along they are because I don't go to their project at all. Not that I'm against it or anything. It's just I got my own stuff to work on. But I think the integration would be cool. But right now, it's kind of on the back burner until I actually get more stability into the server. And then we'll definitely be talking with the Nina project about that for sure.
So this is a delicate subject, but what if you get hit by a bus, man? Like, how's the project going to stay alive?
Through the spirit of other people. I have one person for sure that has the keys to the source. So unless we both get hit by a bus, it's not going to go anywhere.
Okay, cool. I probably should have said like won the lottery or something besides hit by a bus. But
but yeah, I mean, in terms of anything can happen. So yeah, it's a good analogy.
Okay, cool. Have you thought about legal challenges? Like if this really starts blowing up,
Yeah, I mean, that's always been on the back of my mind. Like, what if AOL comes after us because we're trying to bring this back and stuff like that? I mean, it'd be kind of silly because we're not like profiting from anything, right? We're just restoring vaporware, something that's been gone and dead for 22 bloody years. So, I mean, I'm not selling any of the AOL stuff. It's all I'm doing is just writing a server that their client works with. That's it. So yeah, I mean, it's like a gray area. I'm scared about it, but at the same time, I'm like, if I let that bother me, then it's not going to go any farther. So I guess that'll be like something to deal with when the time comes. But yeah, it is on the back of my mind all the time.
So there's a fine line between staying true to what AOL was and when the project is no longer AOL and it turns into something else. Have you thought about that?
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty important to me to try and keep it as close to what my memory was of it, but I'm not excluding anybody else's memory. Like my memory was like, for instance, the chat rooms, the one that you currently see, that's what I remember. But other people are saying, well, no, it was, the chat list was on the side of the window and all that. And I'm like, I don't remember that. But I mean, obviously it was a thing because there's more people that remember it that way than how I remember it. But yeah, I want to make sure that it stays true to what it was like in 1995. So I'm trying my best not to import any of the forms that were like on AOL 4 or 5. I'm trying to keep everything AOL 3. But there's going to come a point where I can no longer create those types of forms because there's no data there. And the only thing that we have is something from AOL 4. So I will have to incorporate something in from there at some point. But yeah, I want it to stay as close to 3.
Why limit it to 3? Why do you want it to be 3 so much?
Well, because the client's AOL 3.
True.
If they want to use AOL 4, then, use AOL 4. Like if you want the chat rooms from AOL 4, then, use AOL 4. Well, this is AOL 3. So
you're focusing on 3, right?
Yeah, I'm focusing on 3. It's just, I know all the FDO for 3. I've only studied a little bit of the FDO that AOL 4 used. So I'm more fluent with 3 because that's just what I've been focusing on. So I'm just going to try and keep everything at 3.
Can we talk about 2.5 for a minute?
Sure.
It sounds like you could log in or something with AOL 2.5, but a lot of stuff wouldn't work due to FDO. Is that right?
Yeah, you can actually log in with AOL 2, 2.5, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But 2.5 right now, you can log in, but the client doesn't get activated to be online. So the top menu bar doesn't activate. So none of the buttons work, but it does log in. Yes. And there's no welcome window. So
is that because of the FDO versions?
Yeah, they're slightly different in how they work. And I don't have like FDO 88 documentation, which is, I believe, is which 2 and 2.5 primarily used. I mean, I could be wrong in that, but I've tried sending a welcome window FDO to 2.5 and it would never come up. So I'm assuming it was more of a FDO 88 type language in there.
So if somebody created a converter to convert to FDO 88, would you be opposed to getting to 2.5 to work as well?
Heck no. I mean, that would be awesome. I even thought about like version 1. You know how amazing that would be to have it compatible with version 1? People can like log into MS-DOS 3.5 or something and jump on AOL 1.0. That'd be so amazing.
Yeah, that'd be super cool. And if you got 2.5 working again, you can get AOL working.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, I used AOL 2.5 as well, so I was pretty fond of 2.5 and 3. They were definitely my favorites.
Yeah, if I had to vote, it'd be 2.5.
Yeah, I'll definitely be looking at that in the future for sure. No doubt about that.
Cool. Is there anything else you want to cover today?
I'd just like to thank Pad. I mean, he's been amazing. He's been a shilling god. So I owe him a lot. He went above and beyond to help get this out there. So thanks, Pad. I want to thank Zor, amazing guy. I mean, everybody's been really amazing. God's Misfit stopped by. I mean, that was like, that was amazing. Slushy. Dude, man, the stuff that you're doing behind the scenes, it's been just amazing watching you. As you can tell, I'm like flabbergasted. So at all these guys that are just come on the scene and been helping me out. It's like amazing brotherhood that, back in the 90s, I didn't know any of these guys, but now it's just like, you hop on the Discord and they're all there and you just jump on chat and it's just like a group of really close friends. It's been amazing. So yeah, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Love you all.
Cool. Is there anything else you want to cover today?
I'd like to mention like about depression, like it's a hard topic to talk about, but so many people struggle with depression, and it's important that when you're feeling down and out and all that, you really need to find something to focus on, something to put those demons to the side and focus on, something that brings you joy. That's what ReAOL did for me. So it's really important, I mean, find somebody that you can talk to. You're always welcome in the ReAOL Discord. If you have chance, we're very welcoming, especially when it comes to people with disabilities, because pretty much everybody that's in the Discord has some sort of disability. So we all know what it's like, and you're not alone. It's important to know that you're not alone in your struggles. There's people out there that are suffering just like you.
Yeah, that's really great advice.
Yeah, it's a dark place. Our destinies in life, no matter what your religion, what your color is, it's all the same. We're all going to end up in the same spot, in the same place. So it doesn't make sense to me to add more garbage to somebody's life who's already struggling hard enough with it, So, be kind, help people out.
Yeah, definitely.
It comes back on you tenfold. So
that's really true. Yeah, we'll try to put in the show notes numbers people can reach out to if they're struggling with depression.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah, and come hit us up on the Discord. Everybody's welcome.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll put in the show notes a link to the Discord. Thanks so much for taking the time to come on the podcast and tell us about ReAOL. I think this is the biggest thing that's happened for many people in a long time. This is really exciting. So thank you.
But yeah, you're welcome. And it's been my pleasure. And I hope everybody that comes and tries it out, it brings them the same kind of pleasure as well. That's the goal.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Hack the planet! Hack the planet! Hack the planet! Hack the planet!
Welcome to cyberspace.